Okay, let's talk about software deployment. We've all faced those challenges, right? The manual processes, the delays, the errors that creep in. It can be such a drag.
Oh, absolutely. The late nights trying to fix a broken deployment. Yeah, not fun.
Exactly. But imagine if that could just disappear, replaced by something smooth, automated, effortless almost.
Well, that's the promise, isn't it? And that's where AWS tools really come into play.
Right. So our mission today is to really dig into two key AWS services, CodeBuild and CodePipeline. We want to understand how they do, transform that whole build, test, deploy cycle.
Turn that complexity into a much more seamless flow.
Yeah, exactly. So by the end of this, you should have a really solid handle on CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment using these specific AWS tools. Faster, more reliable software development. That's the goal.
And it's interesting how AWS built these. They're fully managed services specifically designed for CI/CD. Think of them as like your dedicated automation crew in the cloud.
Okay, so let's break them down. They work together, but they have distinct jobs. CodeBuild, what's its role?
CodeBuild is, think of it as an engine or the muscle. It's the service that actually compiles your code, runs all your tests, unit tests, integration tests, whatever you define, and then spits out the finished product, the deployable artifact.
So it's like an automated build factory on demand.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And crucially, you don't manage any build servers. It handles all that scaling and infrastructure for you.
Okay, so if CodeBuild is the engine, CodePipeline is?
CodePipeline is the navigator, maybe, or the brain. It orchestrates the entire release process. From the moment you commit code, CodePipeline maps out and automates the journey, pulling the code, telling CodeBuild to build it, running more tests, perhaps, and then deploying it.
Guiding the whole process.
Exactly. It tells the engine what to do and when.
And they both share some pretty powerful benefits, right? Like scalability.
Absolutely. They both scale automatically. Busy day with lots of commits, they handle it. Quiet period, they scale down. And they integrate really deeply with other AWS services.
Like code commit for your source code.
Yep. Or GitHub, Bitbucket. Then S3 for storing those artifacts CodeBuild creates. Deployment targets like ECS, Lambda, Elastic Beanstalk. The list goes on.
Plus built-in security using IAM roles, encryption.
Mm-hmm.
It feels quite robust.
It is. Security's baked in.
So let's zoom in on CodeBuild a bit more. Its main job is taking away the pain of managing build infrastructure.
That's the core idea. You define what's called a build project. In there, you tell it where your source code is, what kind of compute environment it needs, like does it need Node.js, Java, Docker, and most importantly, what commands to run.
And that's where the buildspec.iml file comes in.
Exactly. That's a YAML file, usually right there in your code repository. It's just a list of commands that npm install, mvn test, maybe some custom scripts. CodeBuild reads that file,
Okay.
spins up a temporary isolated Docker container based on your configuration, runs those commands step by step, and then saves the output, your compiled code, your JR file, whatever, to an S3 bucket you specify.
And the cool part for you listening is that it scales up if needed. It can run builds in parallel.
Yep. Massive speed improvements possible there. And everything it does, every command output gets logged straight to CloudWatch. So you have full visibility if something goes wrong or just to monitor performance.
Right. Observability is key. Okay, so how does CodePipeline then take that artifact and orchestrate?
So CodePipeline is all about defining a workflow using stages and actions. A typical pipeline might start with a source stage, the action there, pull the latest code commit from, say, CodeCommit or GitHub.
Makes sense.
Then maybe a build stage, the action, tell CodeBuild to run using the source code pulled in the previous stage.
Using a build spec file we just talked about.
Exactly. CodeBuild runs, puts its artifact in S3. Then you might have a deploy stage. Its action could be deploying that artifact from S3 to an ECS service or maybe to a Lambda function.
And these stages run one after the other.
Sequentially, yes, creating this automated pathway from code to deployment.
Can you pause it? If you need sign off before production.
Absolutely. You can insert manual approval actions between stages. So it builds, maybe deploys to a staging environment, then waits for someone to click approve before it proceeds to production. Critical control point.
That's important. And if something fails, say a test in the code build stage,
the pipeline stops right there. It won't proceed, preventing a bad build from going any further. You get notified, check the logs in CloudWatch, fix the issue, and then you can retry the stage.
Okay, so just to summarize the difference clearly, CodeBuild builds and tests the code in a specific environment. CodePipeline manages the whole release workflow, using CodeBuild as one of the steps in that workflow.
That's the perfect way to put it. CodePipeline orchestrates the journey. CodeBuild is a key worker on that journey.
Got it. So if someone's thinking about setting this up, what are some practical things they should keep in mind?
Okay, first, cost. CodeBuild is charged per minute of build time, so optimizing your buildspec.aml to run faster actually saves you money.
Good tip.
CodePipeline has a charge per active pipeline per month, but there's a free tier, so you can definitely experiment without cost initially. Second, security. Always use IAM roles with least privilege. Make sure CodeBuild and CodePipeline can only access exactly what they need. And enable encryption for your artifacts in S3. Just good practice.
Sensible defaults.
Yeah.
And monitoring.
CloudWatch is your best friend here.
Yeah.
For logs, for metrics on build times or pipeline success rates, and set up SNS notifications. Get alerted on Slack or email if a build fails, or if that manual approval step needs attention.
So stay informed automatically.
Right.
And the best way to actually learn this stuff...
Just dive in, honestly. Set up a really simple code build project first. Take a sample app, write a basic buildspec.iml to just compile it, see it work. Then create a simple code pipeline source stage from GitHub or code commit, build stage using your new code build project, maybe even a deploy stage to S3 initially. Getting your hands dirty makes it click.
Makes total sense. Build it piece by piece. So wrapping up, we've seen how AWS CodeBuild and CodePipeline give you this really solid automated way to handle software delivery. They streamline that whole path from commit to production. Faster, safer releases. They really feel essential for modern development teams.
They really do streamline things. Which leads to an interesting thought. If you automate away all that repetitive, heavy lifting, managing build servers, manual deployments, worrying about infrastructure, what does that free you and your team up to do? Where does your focus shift when you can purely concentrate on, well, innovation and solving the next big problem?